Dear students, welcome back to the ICET series session 6. So in this session, we'll try to understand the questions which are given under data analysis. Basically, if you observe the ICET examination syllabus, in the problem solving, we are having 55 questions. And out of these 55 questions, 10 questions are given from data analysis. So data analysis is another important module which will cover 10 questions of weightage. So we'll have a discussion on the data analysis questions in this video. If you observe, what is data analysis? Basically, data analysis, the name itself is indicating that it is just analysis of the data. Why we need to analyze the data is, the data is not directly projected with us. The data is given little indirect way in the form of tables or graphs. That means you will be having a tabular information, and based on the tabular information there are 3 or 2 followed questions. So just like the passage based questions what we have done in coding and decoding, here also in data analysis there will be a table or a graph, and below that there are 3 linked questions or 5 linked questions are given. So what you need to do is just analyze the data properly and solve the questions which are given below. So what is tabular is? Table is nothing but the information which is projected in the form of rows and columns. So rows and column information will be given. So this is a tabular data. And bar graph is nothing but graphs will be given in 3 patterns. Bar graph is nothing but the data is projected in the form of a bars. So it can be a vertical bar or it can be a horizontal bar. So the data will be given in the form of a bars, that is bar graph. And sometimes the data is given in the form of a lines. So you will be having a lines information. So then we call this as a line graph. And the data will also be projected in the form of a pie graph. Pie graph means you will be having the data in the form of a circular form, and they will be giving the data in the form of a percentage, or otherwise they will be giving the data in the form of a degrees. So x degrees, y degrees, something like that. So this is how the data is projected under the data analysis topic. And before we jump into the questions of data analysis, student must aware of this point. What is the point is, the questions of data analysis or data interpretation will be connecting with the quantitative aptitude questions. That means the basic formulas which you are going to see in arithmetic, you will be finding here. That means whatever is a question you take, whether it is a line graph or bar graph or tabular information, once you extract the data, the questions which are given below will be always revolving around these 4. That means the question may be related to percentage increase or percentage decrease, or the question is related to ratios, finding the ratio of this term and that term, or the question is related to averages, finding what is the overall average of this so and so given data, or the question may be related to nature of the graph, whether the graph is keep increasing or keep decreasing or how. So these are the only possible questions. You take some 100 or 1000 questions which are given in the previous papers, not only for ICET, for all the MBA entrance exams or other CAT examination or XAT examination, data analysis is an important module. So in all the questions, all the examinations, the questions are belongs to only these 4. There is nothing else will be given. But the extra thing or additional thing when you see from arithmetic to data interpretation questions is, in arithmetic you will see percentage change questions in percentages topic, but only thing is their complete data will be given in the question. But it comes to this chapter, you have to extract the data from the given graph or given table, and then you have to proceed with the solvation. So we'll look at how to tackle those questions first, like in arithmetic, and then we'll connect with the data analysis as well. And what is the way of approach while you are solving this data analysis or data interpretation questions is, see, some students are wasting a lot of time in reading the data or doing something. That's why I strictly follow 3 rules when you are solving questions of data interpretation. What are the 3 rules which you have to follow is, whatever is a question, whether it is a table or graph, first thing which you have to do is, please read the label or title of the given thing. That means, for example, there is a graph given. So generally students used to do, they'll try to look at each and every point which is available in the graph. That is not required. What you have to do first is to understand the graph first read the title. For example, the title is given as the population of city from 2000 to 2004 is given below. Something like that. So what the annual incomes of company A and B from 2020 to 2024 is given in the below. So like that, if you read the label or title of the graph, then you will get a clear clarity what your graph is talking about. Then the interpretation will become easy. So generally students will immediately go to the graph. That is not important. First read the label or read the title of the graph. That will give a clear clarity about your graph or about your table. Then what you need to do is that second important thing, check the units. Whether they given the population in terms of percentage or they given the population in terms of lakhs or thousands or crores. So please observe that carefully, because sometimes they are going to give the question will be given or they'll be asking something in lakhs, and maybe the data is given in terms of crores. So that is the reason, please check the units. That will give there is a chance of doing a wrong answer if you are not able to check the units. And if it is a graph, check the units on x-axis, check the units on y-axis. Okay, and then what you need to do is don't waste your time in analyzing the data. Directly go to the question and read the question first, and in the question whatever is the quantities required, those quantities you collect from the data. This is what is a basic approach. So what is the approach is, whenever you come across with any data analysis or data interpretation question, whether it is a table or a graph, follow these three steps. First step, read the label. Second step, check the units. Third step, don't waste your time by reading the data. Just look at the question and connect your question to the data. That is what you have to do whenever you are solving the questions of data interpretation. Okay, so before we jump into that, because you are not done with arithmetic modules in our series of videos, that's why I want to go with some basic prerequisite, how to tackle with the percentage increase and decrease questions, how to tackle with the questions of ratios, and how to tackle with the questions of averages. Then we'll jump into the actual questions which are given in TS ICET-2023 paper. Question number 56 to 58, we'll have a discussion in this session. So if you look at the first thing, percentage change. How to calculate the percentage change of the numbers. So I'll just take a simple example. For let's assume that there is 40 rupees is a price of the article. Let's assume 40 rupees is the price of the article. So the next day the price of the article is 60 rupees. Then what is the percentage increase in the price is a question. So if it is basically what is the increase in the price, if it is a question, directly you can say the answer is 20. But what is the percentage increase in the price is a question. So whenever you are trying to calculate percentage increase, so you can use a formula. What is that formula is final value minus initial value divided by initial value into 100 percentage. So while you are finding the numerator value, if you get a positive value, that will indicates that is a percentage increase. If you get a negative value, that indicates that that's a percentage decrease. So this is a basic formula which you can use to solve the question. That means here, if you observe, the final value is 60, initial value is 40. So the difference 60 minus 40, which is equal to 20, and the initial value is 40. So 20 by 40 into 100 percentage. This you can further simplify. 20 ones are 22s are 100 by 2 is 50. Keep percentage symbol. That means the percentage increase here is 50. That is how you can find out or calculate the percentage increase. And you can also use one trick. What is the trick is, just observe the base value, base concept trick. So what you need to do in this, the second approach is, just look at the base number. The base number is 40. 40 becomes 60. 40 becomes 60. What is the meaning of 40 becomes 60 is, on top of 40, there is an increase of 20. This is giving a result as 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is nothing but 50 percentage. So 1 by 2 fraction, you just remember the fractions and percentages values so that you can feel very comfortable of solving the questions of percentage change. See, let's take another example to get some clear clarity on this. For example, there is a number 50. 50 become 80. What is the percentage increase is a question. So the base value 50, 50 become 80 means we can say on top of 50 there is an increase of 30. So 3 by 5 you can convert into percentage, and I can say 1 by 5 is 20 percentage. 3 by 5 will be equal to 60 percentage. Or otherwise, if you want to convert any fraction to percentage, what you can do is you can just make your denominator as 100 so that every calculation will be easy. So 5 become 100 if you multiply with 20. So we can write this as 60 by 100. By 100 can replace with the percentage symbol. You can write it as 60 percentage. Hope you are able to understand. Let's take one more example. Let's assume that there is a number 50. 50 become 30. What is the percentage decrease? So base value 50, 50 become 30 means on top of 50 there is a decrease of 20. So it is giving a result as 2 by 5. As I told you, to convert fraction into percentage, you can multiply and divide with 100. So this is giving a result as, sorry, you can just multiply and divide with 100. That's also no problem. You can further simplify. 25 20s, 20 into 2 will be equal to 40. 40 by 100 means we can say percentage decrease will be 40 percentage. Like that we can calculate, but mostly to avoid doing this fraction conversion to percentage conversion, we will be by hearting the fractions and equivalent percentage values. That is a very important prerequisite I suggest for every student before you are proceeding for percentages questions, which is there in arithmetic module, and before you are proceeding for data interpretation questions. So do remember these fractions and equivalent percentage values, because we got just now we calculated what is 2 by 5. But once you remember these values, you know that 1 by 5 is 20 percentage, 2 by 5 is 2 times 1 by 5, 2 times 20, 40 percentage. So in the previous we got some other value 1 by 2, directly you will write 50 percentage. So any other fraction is there, you can comfortably write. That means, for example, let's assume that I have a number like this. 900 is a value. 900 become 1100. What is the percentage increase is a question. So 900 become 1100 means on top of 900, there is an increase of 200. It is giving a result as 2 by 9. In the examination, solving 2 by 9 value will take a lot of time. That's why I'm expecting you to remember these fractions and percentages. 1 by 9 is equal to 11.11 percentage. 2 by 9 will be equal to 22.22 percentage. Directly you can write the value. Okay. So hope you are able to understand the point clearly. And still, if you are not able to remember these values directly by looking at this, you can also check the video of percentages in our YouTube channel. You will be able to see all fractions and percentage values and how to remember those fractions and percentage values easily. I have just explained with one trick. You can check that. Okay. And moving forward to the next one, how the questions of percentage are given, like whatever is the discussion which we have done, we have directly taken some numbers and solved. Let's look at the question once. So the question here is, if you can observe, on increasing the number of pages in a book by 40, they become 120. What is the percentage increase in the number of pages? On increasing the number of pages in a book by 40, they become 120. That means initial number of pages I don't know, but after increasing by 40, the number of pages become 120. After increasing 40, it is 120 means, can I say my initial number of pages are 80? Initial number of pages are 80, because 80 if you increase by 40, it will become 120. Here the question is, what is the percentage increase in the number of pages? So initial number of pages are 80, 80 become 120. That means we can say on top of 40, there is an increase of, on top of 80, there is an increase of 40. It is giving a result as 1 by 2. Mark your answer choice as 50 percentage, which is available as C. Let's take one more question. The price of the mission was decreased by 3,000. If the new price of the mission is 22,000, then what percentage was the price of the mission is reduced? So if you observe here, the price of the mission was decreased by 3,000 and the new price of the mission is 22,000. That means initial price I don't know, but by decreasing 3,000, after decreasing 3,000, the price become 22,000. That means, can we understand what is the initial price? After decreasing 3,000, it is 22,000, means before decrease the price of the article was 25,000. Yes, for sure. Now, the question here is, what was the price of the mission reduced? What percentage the price of the mission is reduced? So 25,000 is the initial price, 22,000 is the price now. 25,000 become 22,000. We can say on top of 25,000, there is a decrease of 3,000. You can further simplify this and mark the answer. We can write this as 3 by 25. To make my denominator 100, I am just multiplying and dividing with 4, because in 25 into 4 will give 100. I am writing this as 12 by 100. We very well know that 12 by 100 can be replaced as 12%. Mark the answer, option B. Hope you are able to understand. Moving forward to one more last question on this percentage change, so that we'll move on to other prerequisite of understanding how to deal with ratios. So if you observe this question, A salary is 25% more than B salary. Then B salary is what percentage less than A salary? This is a question given for us. A salary is 25% more than B salary, and B salary is what percentage less than A salary? If you observe this question, it is unlike the previous questions. Previous questions, they given the base value, what is the initial number, what is the final value, they are clearly given, and using that we are trying to calculate the percentage increase and decrease. But in this question, we don't have that. So then how to deal with that? So A salary is 25% more than B salary. Always try to assume, when you are dealing with the percentages, always suggested to take some numbers which are 100, so that your calculation become easy. So here I am assuming the salary of B as 100. I don't know what is the salary of B. I am assuming it as 100. A salary is 25% more than B salary. So 25% of 100 is nothing but 25. That means A salary should be 25 more than 100. That means it is 125. Now, then B salary is what percentage less than A salary? It is very, very important point to remember, not for this question. In all the questions, if you read the last sentence, wherever than, after than, whatever is a term is going to come, that will be the base value. Please do remember this in all percentages questions when you are calculating percentage and increase and decrease, especially in the data interpretation also. So after that we have A salary. That means this is the base value. So base value is 125. 125 become 100. What is the percentage? What is the percentage decrease? 125 become 100 means we can say on top of 125 there is a decrease of 25. 25 ones are 25 5s are, it will give a result as 1 by 5. 1 by 5 is indicating 20%. Mark your answer, option B. 1 by 5 is indicating 20%. Mark your answer choice as option B. Hope you are able to understand. The important point to convey from this question is, in the last sentence, after that whatever is the term comes into the picture, that will be our base value, because sometimes you are not going to, sometimes if you understand the base value as a different, if you solve with that, you will get a different answer. That different answer will be definitely available in the option choices. You might be marking that as an answer, that is a trapping answer available. That's why be careful to understand what is the base value in the question. Okay, moving forward to second prerequisite, how to deal with ratios. So what is ratio? Basically, ratio is nothing but it is a division of the two quantities. For example, so what is ratio? Ratio is nothing but division of two quantities. So if you have 3 by 5, 3 by 5. So this division 3 by 5, how can we represent in the ratio? 3 by 5, we can represent it as 3:5. Or for example, I have 10 by 18. How to represent in ratio? So 10 by 18, we can take it as 10:18, but it is always suggested to simplify further to take in the form of a ratio. Both the numbers are going in two table, 2 5s are 2 9s are. Further simplification is giving the ratio of these two terms is 5:9. So basically ratio is more simplified version of the division. So if you observe this question, what is the ratio of 8 books to 20 books is a question. What is the ratio of 8 books to 20 books? So 8 books and 20 books are there. Ratio is nothing but division, 8 by 20. We can say 8:20, but I already told you more simplification, more simplified answer is required. 2 4s are and 2 10s are. and again we can write 2 2s and 2 5s. The ratio of these numbers are 2:5, available as option A. Mark it as answer choice. So ratio is nothing difficult or nothing challenging, just further simplification. If you know tables of the numbers, it will be easy to figure out the ratio. And it comes to data interpretation, only challenging is bring those values from the table or extract those values from the graph and then use this basic division. Let's take the another question. The ratio of number of sides of a square to the number of edge of a cube. See, in square, how many sides will be there? Everyone knows that number of sides in a cube in a square will be equal to 4. And for this too, they are asking number of edges in a cube. How many edges are there in a cube? So if you observe, the cube is having 6 faces and cube is having 8 vertices and cube is having 12 edges. Remember that point. Every cube is having 6 faces and 8 vertices or 8 corners and 12 edges. So the edges in a cube will be equal to 12. So vertices are going to be 8, faces are going to be 6 and edges are going to be 12. And there is a relation also it will maintain. Faces plus vertices will always 2 more than the edges. So what is the ratio of sides to edges is a question. 4:12 or 4/12 or 1:3. We can directly mark the answer as option D. Hope it is clear. Moving forward to one more. There are B boys and G girls in the classroom. The ratio of number of boys to the total number of students in the class. So it's a basic question. So B boys and G girls are there. The ratio of boys, that means boys means only boys, to the total number of students. So what is the total number of students? B boys and G girls means the total number of students are going to be B plus G. So what is this fraction they are asking? So that means B boys to total number of students, the ratio is B by B plus G. Mark the answer option A. That is how you can deal with the basic questions of ratios. So it's a basic division. I mean, moving forward to third prerequisite, that is how to deal with average. And everyone knows that average is nothing but sum of n terms divided by number of terms. Average is given with a simple formula. Average will be given as sum of n terms divided by number of the terms. That means, for example, if we have any question like this, find the average of the data set 9, 6, 3, 2, 5. How can we deal with the average? As I told you, sum of n terms by number of the terms. That means 9 plus 6 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5. And how many terms are there? 5 terms are there. If you further simplify, it will give the average for you. 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 plus 5 is going to be 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. 25 divided by 5 will give you your average, which is equal to 5. So you can simply find out the average by looking at sum of the terms divided by number of the terms. Sum of the terms divided by number of the terms. And sometimes do remember this, whenever we have any consecutive data set. What do you mean by consecutive data set? Consecutive data set is nothing but the data set which is maintaining constant difference, or the data set which is projected in arithmetic progression will be calling as consecutive data set. What is the advantage of consecutive data set is, whenever you see consecutive data set, you no need to use the normal approach of finding average. You can find out the average just by using the other thing. What is the other thing? We'll try to understand here. For example, here we have to find out the average of 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17. How to find out the average? 5 plus 8 plus 11 plus 14 plus 17 divided by total number of terms. How many terms are there here? There are 5 terms are there. So you can find out the average like this. So 5 plus 8 is going to be 13. 13 plus 11, 24. 24 plus 14 is going to be 38. 38 plus 17. 38 plus 17, which is giving a result as 55. 55 when you divide with 5, what is the result? 5 ones are 5 ones are. We can say average is going to be 11. Average is going to be 11. So you can find out the average of this data set as 11. But because we are dealing with the consecutive data set, you no need to use this conventional approach. What you can do is, you can directly find out the average by using one simple formula, that is middle term. So remember this point, whenever you are dealing with any consecutive data set, or whenever you are dealing with the numbers of arithmetic progression. How can we identify it is a consecutive data set? If you observe the numbers here, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17. If you observe the difference of 3 here, difference of 3 here, difference of 3 here, difference of 3 here. Whenever you are having a constant difference, that is called consecutive data set. When you are dealing with the consecutive data set, no need to find out the average by using the conventional approach. To find out the average, use a simple formula of finding middle term. What is the middle term here? 11. So that's your average. And sometimes it will be not a finite data. If you have an infinite data, so you know the first term, you know the last term, you can also use this logic to find out. First term is 5, last term is 17. 5 plus 17 by 2 will give you your answer. That means 22 by 2 is giving a same result of 11. So remember this point. And these are the basic prerequisite, nothing else to discuss. Let's start with the questions which are given in TS ICET 2023 paper, question number 56 to 58. So question number 56 to 58, they given this information. What is our approach? I already told you. As soon as you see any question, first task of you is read the label. First task of you is read the label. So if you observe the label, the following table gives the profits in terms of crores of rupees for the 4 items, namely PQRS, manufactured by the company during the financial year of 2018 to 19 to 2022 to 23. So by observing this data, we can understand these PQRS are the different manufacturing companies. These companies' profits in 18-19 financial year, 19-20 financial year, 2021, 22-23, up to this we have the profits. So company P and all. So you no need to look at more in deeper with the data which is projected here. As I told you, once you observe the table label of the given table, check the units also given in terms of crores, then directly go to the question. So if you observe the question here, question number 56, they are asking the percentage increase in the profit of the item R in the financial year 2020-21 over the year 18-19, over the year 18-19. So first of all, you have to understand what is the profit of company R in the financial year of 2021 in 18-19. Let's go back to the data once. So if you observe the data, the company R is here. What is the profits of company R in 2021? The profit of company R is 225 over the year of 18-19. In 18-19, what is the profit of that company? 18-19 profit is 125. So they are asking what is the percentage increase. So the percentage increase of 20 to 21 over the year of 18-19. What is the base value? Base value is 18-19. So 18-19, the profit was 125. We are able to see that 125. 18-19, the profit is 125. And 2021, what is the profit of company R in 2021? The profit of the company R is 225. They are asking the percentage increase from here to here. 125 become 225. What is the percentage increase? I already told you how to deal with the percentage increase once you understand the base value. 125 become 225 means on top of 125, there is an increase of 100. There is an increase of 100. So 100 by 125. Both the numbers are going in 5 table. 25 table. 25 4s and 25 5s. We got this result as 4 by 5. I very well know that 1 by 5 is giving a result as 20%. If it is 4 by 5, we can directly write it as 80%. That means the percentage increase from 18-19 to 2021 is 80%, which is available as option 1. Mark it as an answer choice. Hope you are able to understand. Let's move on to question number 57. In question number 57, if you can observe the same data, I already told you all these are linked questions to one particular table or graph. So if you observe the question here, in the financial year of 2019-20, the profits on the item Q is what percentage of the total profit on 4 items in that year? Okay. So first you have to look at 1920 year. Where is 1920 here? This is 1920. And what he is saying? He is saying that in the financial year of 1920, the profits on the item Q, is 400, that we are able to see. Profits on the item Q is what percentage of the total profit on the 4 items in that year. In that year, 4 items, what are the profits given? In company P, 300 is a profit, company Q, 400 is a profit, company R, 175 is a profit, company S, 425 is a profit. So profit on all the 4 companies to profit on Q, that is what they are asking. So the profit on Q, profit on the item Q is directly we can say profit on item Q is 400. And what was the total profit on the 4 items in that year? 4 items means P, Q, R, S profits also you have to take up. So P is nothing but 300, Q is nothing but 400, and R is nothing but 175, and S is nothing but 425. So sum of all this will indicates 4 items profit. So what is the 4 items for profit? 425 plus 75, 500, 500 plus 100, 600, 600 plus 400, 1000, 1000 plus 300 is 1300. 1000 plus 300 is 1300. What is the question here? Profit on item Q is what percentage of the total? So profit on item Q is 400. Is means equal to what percentage? That means X percentage on the profit of 4 items. 4 items profit we calculated 1300. So here we have to find out the X value. So what is this X percentage? X percentage will be equal to 400 by 1300. If you further simplify, you will get the answer. So 100 I am replacing with percentage symbol. 400 by 13 I am trying to solve further. 13 ones are 13 threes are 39. So 13 30s 390. We left with 10 by 13. So the profit, the percentage will be equal to 30 10 by 3. 30 10 by 13. We can mark the answer choice as 30 10 by 13, which is available as option 3. You can mark it as answer choice. Hope you are able to understand. Just a basic question of percentage. Question number 58. If you observe the question number 58, in the given period, the item that has recorded highest profit. Item means we have only 4 companies like P, Q, R, S. Which company has recorded highest number of profits? Question on the nature of the graph. So if you observe the data once again, so company P 275, 300, 350, 325, 250. Company Q is 425, 400, 450, 475, 450. So this is all in 400s. Company R 125, 175, 225, 200, 250, 300. 375, 425, 350, 425, 450 and 625. So answer will be which company will have more profits. That means after adding up these numbers, which number is highest, that will be the answer. But looking at this, I am easily understand company Q or company S might have the huge profits, because P all the numbers in 200 and R all the numbers are 100, 200. So but Q is having all the numbers more than 400 or equal to 400, but S also one number is in 600. So I will check these 2 numbers and decide which company has projected more profits over the period of time. So if you observe this 400, 25, 400, 450, 475 and 450, you can further simplify this. So how many 400s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So extra values will add next. 400 is coming for 5 times, that means 2000, and extra value 25 plus 75 is 100, 50 plus 50 is 100. So that means overallly it is 2200 is the total profit for the company Q. Let's check for company R and decide which will have more. 375 plus 25 is 400, 400 plus 400, 800. 800 plus 300, 1100 plus 100, which is 1200 plus 400, 1600, 1600 plus 625. So if you further simplify this, this is giving a result as 2225, because 2225 is more than company Q. So I will mark the answer as option 4, which is company S. Okay, hope you are able to understand. And I am just giving some practice questions based on this. You can just observe. This is the given table. You can observe the label and observe the table, and then solve the practice question number 1, practice question number 2, practice question number 3. Okay, solve these practice questions and comment your answers in the chat box. And as I told you, we are providing the free coaching for ICET, TS ICET and AP ICET for 2024 year. That means the exam is conducted in the month of May. So we are in January. So we are trying to provide all the videos which are related to TS ICET and AP ICET just to help the students who are not able to take the training, and just to help the students who are not having time to come to institute and take a training. And some students are having academic busy schedule, they might be having exams, and lot of students are having this type of problems. So to reduce that problems, or to avoid those problems, and to increase the knowledge on the aptitude concepts, we are Maitri Educational Academy and initiated for this program of free coaching for TSI set and API set, and it will be definitely helpful for all other competitive exams like government exams and placements and all other examinations. Hope you utilize this better and share with your friends. And you have any questions or queries regarding to aptitude, you can also, and this TSI set, you can also join in the Telegram group. I'm just sharing this Telegram group link in the chat box or in the description. You can join in that, and any doubts are there, you can clear up the doubts, or more doubts are there, I'll take up those doubts and create another video based on the doubts of the students. Don't forget to subscribe the Maitri Educational Academy channel and share with your friends. Thank you so much, my dear students. Thanks for your time.